Okay. So let us start with the next very important topic, which is expectations. And we have seen that many a times these expectations will be having more number of problems. They ask lots of problems on this. So we'll try to cover those problems as well in today's class. So what actually is expectations? In simple terms, in layman's view, expectations is nothing but it is the mean. If you want to find out the mean of any value, then that becomes your expectations. Okay, so that is nothing but the meaning of your expectations. It is, you can say, it is usually the average of values. If I want to find average of n number of values, you already know how to find the average of n number of values. So the same thing would be applied to your random variables. Okay, so like say for example, your x bar is nothing but it is the sample mean. X bar is denoting here the sample mean, and xi is the all the samples of data, whatever the sample of data are there. That is, xi is nothing but x1, x2, x3. Say for example, you have x1, x2, x3, then xi will be I x of 3, x of 3, which is nothing but x1 plus x2 plus x3. Okay, next, this is multiplied by 1 divided by n. Like say for example, if you do any average thing, it is nothing but the number of observations divided by or the value of observations, sum of all the value of observations divided by number of observations. Like say for example, uh, so if this is my expectation, so it is usually what, no, say for example, you have 1, 2, 3, something like this. It is nothing but what, no, 1 plus 2 plus 3 divided by 3. That is the number of values. So the same thing we have applied here. That is, xi are nothing but, these are nothing but your what now, x1, x2 and x3. That is addition. That's why the addition has been replaced here with the help of the summation, divided by this 3. That is the number of values. That number of values here is n. So this is your number of values. Okay, so that is the meaning of your expectations. Yeah, so this is how it works on. That is, he has given the same thing here. Xi is nothing but the data, and your lowercase x with the overbar is nothing but it is the mean. It is the mean. Or whenever we try to do it in terms of integration, that is, say for example, if we have a PDF, the same equation is written something like this. It is nothing but from minus infinity to plus infinity, which is nothing but all the values, that is from minus infinity to plus infinity. X is the term multiplied by its PDF. So the PDF is fx of x, and it is multiplied with dx. Okay, so don't know why people are leaving and again coming back. Okay, so this is how your mean is calculated. That is nothing but your expectation. So going ahead, so please tell your friends that if once they join, don't again come and go, because I have to, the whole half an hour would go in that only. So I guess so the 2.39 and 2.40 are clear how they are written. So next equation we need to see is, see here friends, this graph is very important. If you understand this graph, the rest of the things would go a bit easily. Okay, so if you see here, it is nothing but there is a small value x1, the next value you have is x2, the next value you have is x3, and every value has been incremented by some point, and that some point is nothing but your delta. That some point is nothing but your delta. Like say for example, delta of x1. So when I say delta of x1, it doesn't mean it means that your x1 is increased by delta of x1. It is nothing but x1 plus delta 1, delta x1, then you will get x2. So x2 plus delta x2, which is nothing but x3, and so on. So this forms the staircase value, and you go on incrementing it. Okay, so that means this could be written as the n, the total n. So you can observe here, there is this from n1 to nm, n1 to nm. This is nothing but the total n. And what is that total n now? It is k is equal to 1 to m. See here, friends, k is equal to 1. K is equal to 1 means what now? N1. K is equal to 3 means what? N3. K is equal to k means what? Nk, and the last value we have is k is equal to m. So it is nothing but k is equal to 1 to m, k is equal to 1 to m summation. And what values you are adding? You are adding nk values. That's what I told you. That is n1. If k is replaced by 1, it is n1 plus the next value. As we have a summation here, It is meaning what now? N1 plus N2 plus N3 and so on. Okay. So I hope this is clear. This is clear. That is, your n is nothing but it is the summation of all the values. It is the summation of all the values from k is equal to 1 to m. Okay. So next we need to approximate this. We need to approximate this. And then what we'll be doing is we'll be using the sum which we are used in 2.39. So the sum in 2.39 would look something like this. Let us get back to 2.39 here. So this is your equation. I hope so it's better you note down these equations, friends, when I will be teaching so that you understand it. Okay. So we'll consider your 2.39. So here he has considered your 2.39. So your 2.39 is this thing. So what he has done here is, I'll just reduce the screen. Yeah. So what he has done here is your xi, you can see here, your xi is replaced by nk into xk. Okay. What is nk into xk? We have seen just now. What is nk into xk? It is nothing but it is the multiplication of n and followed by x. So nk xk is nothing but it is one of the values. It could be n3 x3 as well. It could be n2 x2 as well, and so on. Okay. So that is what he has tried here. Instead of xi, that is instead of one value, he is taking the combination, which is nk into xk. So this is the approximated value. That's why you can see a tidal here. That's why you can see a tidal here. Okay. So this is done. Next, very important, friends, to deduce this equation, we would require two more equations. That is, please concentrate now. What we are doing here is, here we are multiplying each term in this 2.41 by a factor of 1 by n. Yes, that is clear. That each term, you can see here, each term, that is nk into xk, is multiplied by a factor of 1 by n. Then we'll be using equation 1.29. Okay. So what is this 1.29 equation? It is nothing but nk by n. Now, what is this nk by n? So in order to understand nk by n, let us go back to that thing. 1.29. So see here, friends, this is your 1.29. Now, how this 1.29 has been written? Please concentrate. Please concentrate. So say, for example, you have an event. You have an event A. Then in that event A, there would be some events which would be positive. There would be some events which would be positive, and there would be some events which would be negative. Right? Like say, for example, you have the numbers from 1 to 10. You have the numbers from 1 to 10. Then in that, there are some numbers which are even. There are some numbers which are odd. Right? So if I want to represent odd numbers, I will take one of the variable. If I want to represent even numbers, I'll take the other variable. That is how it works. Okay. That's why it has been written as na by n. To understand it more precisely, let us see the example which the textbook has given. Please concentrate. It's very beautiful example, more good than what the example I gave just now. So let us consider there are 25 items. Okay. There are 25 items. Please concentrate. And these 25 items are being inspected by an inspector. Okay. Now, these 25 items are being inspected by inspector means what now? He will see each and every element, quite obviously. 1, 2, 3, he will inspect all the 25 elements. So therefore, we can say that the probability of selecting an item is 1 by 25. That is, among those 25 items, he will be selecting every one element, the first element, then the second element, then the third element. So therefore, each element will be selected. Therefore, its probability is what now? It is 1 by 25. Now, what happens next is, there happens to be some defective elements. That is, some of them would be not working. Some of them would be not working. Now, these defective elements are also a subset of this total elements, right? Whatever the 25 elements are there, in that elements only, there are 3 defective elements. Okay. So that means what now? Those 3 has to be made a subgroup. Those 3 has to be made a subgroup. And how do you denote that? It is 3 by 25. I hope this is clear. There are 25 elements. Each one we are inspecting. And what happens next now? What happens next now? That there are 3 defective elements. If there are 3 defective elements, then those are a subset of those elements. So therefore, we define it by what now? 3 by 25. The same way here. So here n is your total sample set. N is nothing but your 25. Okay. Then among that, we want to show one of the events, which is A. We want to show one of the events, which is A. Then how do you show it? It is NA. The number of time it is occurring. Here in our case, how many times it is occurring? 3 times. In here, in a general term, it is NA. So that means what now? The probability of any particular event A occurring in the total set. The total set here is what now? N. The total set here is what now? 25. Then it is given by the number of times it is occurring, NA, divided by N. Okay, so I hope this is clear. That is P of A is equal to the probability of a particular event A occurring is equal to, it is approximated to NA, the number of times it has occurred, divided by the total things. That is the total times the event is happening, which is N. Okay. So the same way it has been written here, it is nothing but Nk, an event K occurring in a total event of N. In a total event of N. And what is this K? It is the increment by which we are increasing. See here. First it is incremented, N1 is incremented by K times, then comes N2, then comes N3. That's why he has written here what now? Delta of K, xk. Okay. So that means it is incremented by an amount of K. Okay. So this is your Nk by N. This is your Nk by N. Next. Now, please concentrate. Next thing. This is to be used with your 2.14. Now, what is 2.14? Let us try to see what is 2.14. Yeah. So this is your 2.14. Please concentrate here, friends. Your 2.14 is here. So now what we'll be doing is we'll be comparing this with your 2.14. That is Nk by N. Now, please observe here one similarity, friends, between your 2.14 and your previous equation. If you see here, how this x is incremented, it is incremented by x plus delta x, right? Similarly, if you view the waveform here, how it is incremented, it is Nk plus delta of xk. So I hope you can find the similarities. It is x is incremented to what now? X plus delta x. Here Nk is incremented by an amount by what now? Nk plus delta of xk. So both are same. That's why we will be replacing your RHS. So if you see the RHS now, so you can observe the RHS here. It is the same. We have replaced with the RHS. Instead of just here, we have a suffix k. We don't have a suffix k. We have a suffix k here. Fx followed by x of k. Why? Because we are working with x of k variable and then multiplied by delta of xk. Okay. So I hope this equation is clear. A bit difficult to understand. Why? Because we are merging two equations here. The first equation we are merging is 1.29. The next equation we are merging is 2.14. So you should know 2.14, which is here. You should know 1.29, which we tried to understand just now. So this LHS has come from 1.29 and this RHS has come from 2.14. Okay. Now we'll be using the same thing. We'll be using this equation now. In where? In 2.41. So please concentrate here. So instead of Nk, what we have done now, please concentrate. So instead of Nk into xk, we have replaced it here. What? X of k, fx of xk into delta of xk. Okay. So substituting these values, what we'll be getting now? We'll be getting x of k, fx of xk into delta of xk. Okay. Now, so this is one of the important equation. The same equation, if you try to do it with the help of the integration, it is nothing but what we are doing now. We are replacing your summation with the integration, right? Now, instead of ranging from 1 to m, 1 to m is not a general concept. Why? Because it has been restricted only to those values from 1 to m. But this could be extended from where now? From minus infinity to plus infinity. Then x, you can see here x, fx of x, that k has been removed. Why that k has been removed, friends? Because here we were speaking in terms of k, but here we are speaking in terms of general. So that's why this k suffix has been removed. Okay. So x into fx of x multiplied by dx. So this is equal to your x cap. Okay, so this is how you write your x bar. The same x bar is nothing but your mu of x. So very important formula we have deduced, which is nothing but the mean, which is nothing but minus infinity to plus infinity x of fx of x into dx. What is fx of x? It is the PDF. And what is x? It is the value. Now, why we should consider PDF in your mean? That question you might get, that why I should consider PDF. You should consider a PDF because it consists of all the values of the observation. The PDF consists of all the values of the observation. If you observe, if you remember, please mute yourself. Okay. Yeah. So if you observe here the first equation, if you observe the first equation here, what actually is your x bar? It is nothing but it is the combination of all the values. So that's why what we are taken here PDF. Okay. So this is one thing. Next, one small thing what they have done is, say for example, you have another function. You have another function. Then that function is g of x. Instead of say here you have x. So instead of x, you will be replacing it with your g of x. Okay. So that is the only simple thing here. If they give a single value, you will be using x. If they give a function, then you will be using g of x multiplied by fx of x, which is nothing but your PDF. Okay. So going ahead, these are the three important formulas which we will be using in all our problems. So please note down these formulas if you are not noted down. First one is nothing but the mu. First one is the mu, or we call it as mean. Okay. So it is nothing but x into fx of x, that is the variable multiplied by the PDF. The next is your ex square, and which we call it as second moment about the origin. We call it as second moment about the origin, and it is represented by ex square or the x square the bar. Okay. Finally, the third one is very important. Again, it is the variance. So if they ask you to calculate variance, this is the formula we'll be using, which is x minus mu x. X you already will be knowing. Mu x is nothing but the mean, which you have found out in 2.46, and its whole square multiplied by fx of x. And this equation, the variance, is also called as second moment about the mean. So remember here, friends, in exam, they may ask you like find the variance, or they may ask you like find the second moment about the mean. Any one type they can ask. Okay. So if they ask any one of the types, then also you should be able to answer it. So I hope you have written this 2.46, 2.47, and 2.48. Okay. Swapnita, please erase that line. So going ahead, so this is what is your variance. This is what is your variance. You guys clear the make the nuisance. I don't understand. So please concentrate, friends. The subject is you have to put your efforts. So see here. So this is mean. This is the second moment about the origin. This is the second moment about the mean. So this question is also there in your assignment. Please do it carefully. Next, we have variance. So variance is the same thing. It is the rho square x e of x minus mu x the whole square. Okay. So that is nothing but this equation, which you have find it out. Okay. Next, if I want a standard deviation, it is nothing but the square root of your variance. Very simple. Standard deviation is nothing but the square root of your variance. So remember these three formulas. So based on these three formulas, we'll be trying to get to the example 2.8. We'll be trying to get the understand the example 2.8. So in example 2.8, what he has done is we are finding the expectation, that is mu y, and we are also finding your variance, that is rho square y. Okay. So now if I want to find it out, the you should know the PDF here. Anybody, can you guess the PDF here? No doubt, if you go to 2.17, you will understand what is the PDF given. In exam, they will not give you such lines. They will give you like, this is the given PDF, find its mean and variance. Okay. So if you observe your this thing, assignment book, this example is there. Can you tell me what is the PDF which is being used here? Anybody?
1 by y2 minus y1.
Okay, very good. So it is nothing but 1 by y2 minus y1. So we'll be using that same thing. So we'll try to solve this example now. Yeah. So this is the example. Please concentrate, friends. So if you observe here carefully, your sorry, if I try to draw, it would not take it. So I would request you to observe it carefully because I cannot edit the written thing. Please concentrate, friends. So if you observe here, it is 1 divided by y2 minus y1 multiplied by y with respect to dy, which we have written as y divided by y2 minus y1. Okay. And the limits here are what now? y1 and y2. So see here, observe. The limits here are what now? y1 and y2. Okay. So in exam, don't write directly like this, y2 plus y1 divided by 2. Okay. You need to work it out. So please concentrate here, how it is going on. So you already know that I hope all of you are listening carefully. So this 1 by y2 minus y1 would be removed outside this integration, and we would be integrating this y. So the integration of y is nothing but y square by 2. It is y square by 2. Put the limits y1 and y2. So the upper limit here is y2. So that's why you have got here y2 square. The lower limit here is what now? y1 minus y1 square. Okay. So this is nothing but it will take up the form of a square minus b square. Okay. So you can see here a square minus b square is equal to what now? A minus b multiplied by a plus b. So substitute that thing here, which is nothing but a minus b, that is y2 minus y1 multiplied by y2 plus y1 divided by 2 times y2 minus y1. So this both terms would get cancelled. The final answer you would get is y2 plus y1 divided by 2. So you can observe here the final answer you are getting is y2 plus y1 divided by 2. So we have found out your mu. We have found out your mu. So similarly, we'll try to find out your ey square. One small change is with your ey square is what now? This y is replaced by y square. This y is replaced by y square. Okay. So again, this 1 divided by y2 minus y1 is taken outside. We'll integrate this y square. So when you integrate this y square, you'll be getting y cube by 3. Put the upper limit and the lower limit. So it is nothing but y2 the whole y2 the cube minus y1 the cube. Okay, this 3 we are taken outside here. Even this y2 minus y1 we are taken outside here. Okay, so this a cube minus b cube is nothing but, here is the formula, it is a minus b multiplied by a square plus ab plus b square. So our a minus b is what now? Y2 minus y1. So it is nothing but y2 minus y1. Okay, y square y2 square plus y2 y1 plus y1. Okay, so a minus b and a minus b would get cancelled. That is y2 minus y1 and y2 minus y1 would get cancelled, and this is the answer we will be getting. Okay, so this is similar to this one. You can observe here, it is similar. Okay, next you have your e square y. So if it is e square y, it is nothing but you already know it is y minus mu y the, sorry, not e square y, this is rho square y. So rho square y, you know the formula you have here. Rho square x is nothing but e into x minus mu x the whole square. E into x minus mu x the whole square. So it is nothing but x minus mu x the whole square divided by 1 divided by y2 minus y1. Why 1 divided by y2 minus y1? Because you can see here it is x minus mu x the whole square multiplied by your PDF, multiplied by your PDF. So our PDF is what now? 1 divided by y2 minus y1. So when you next step is, please observe the next step here. It is a minus b the whole square, which is a square minus 2ab plus b square. Okay. Then you go on integrating it. So first is y square integration. Next is 2 mu y is removed outside as it is a constant, y into dy. Here mu square y is removed outside, then it is integrated with respect to 1. So y square integration is nothing but y cube by 3. Y integration is nothing but y square by 2. Here 1 integration is nothing but y. So when you substitute the limits, so this is what you will get. It is the upper limit y2 minus y1, that is y2 minus y1 the whole cube, y2 cube minus y1 cube. Next you have, you will be substituting here y2 square minus y1 square. Then you have y2 minus y1. So friends, you already know this formula, y2 cube minus y1 cube. What is the formula? Anybody?
A minus b into a square plus ab plus c.
So you can see here it is a minus b multiplied by a square plus ab plus b square. Okay, so use that formula here. Next, you have a square minus b square. Anybody, what is a square minus b square formula?
A square minus 2ab plus b square.
Anybody else? A
Sir,
square.
a plus b.
A plus
Sir,
B,
sorry, a
A
plus
minus
b.
It is nothing but a plus b into a minus b. You can observe here it is a plus b multiplied by a minus b. Okay, so this is done. So use the same thing, that is you go on simplifying it and you will get the answer. Okay, do you want me to explain that these next steps, or you will do it? Do you want me to explain these steps, or you will do?
No, sir, we will do.
So I'll just run through the steps. See here, it is nothing but the formula substitution as we discussed just now. So the common terms would get cancelled once you multiply. So all the common terms are getting cancelled. And you can see here what we have done. We have substituted the value of mu y. So mu y we already know it is y2 plus y1 divided by 2. Here also we have substituted the value of mu y and we have squared them. So once we square them and do the cancellations and all the simplifications, you will get y2 minus y1 the whole square divided by 2. Okay, so I'll share these images. I'll share these images. You go through it, and if you have any doubts, let me know. I will again explain. Okay, you can ping me up. I will be explaining. So in textbook, you can observe here. This is the last step which they are given. That is, this would be y cube by 3. This would be y square by 2, and this would be y. Then you go on putting the limits. The answer you will be getting is y2 minus y1 the whole square divided by 12. Okay. So that is your 2.8. Coming to 2.10, a bit easy example. 2.10 is a bit easy example. He has given your PDF here, which is 1 in the range of 0 to 1. And for all other values, it is 0. Okay. So what we'll be doing is mu x of, we will be finding the mean of x. So you have a variable x and you know the value is what now? It is 1. So that's why it has been not written. So it is nothing but x square by 2. The answer here is 1 by 2. This is e of x square. You just square this x. You just square this x. Okay. Then you will be getting 1 by 3. That is x cube by 3. Finally, you have here a minus b the whole square. A minus b the whole square. You simplify it. You will be getting 1 by 12. Very easy problem. Please go through this problem. Okay. Now, yeah, 2.11 is also very easy. You can easily have a glance at it. Now, please concentrate here. Remember all your all your mu, which is nothing but your mean, is a linear thing. That is, whatever you do on the LHS side will be reflected on the RHS side. So you can see here, rho square of x is equal to e of x minus mu x the whole square, which if we expand it, it is a square minus 2ab plus b square. Okay. So we already know that e of x, we will be putting this expectation everywhere. So this is e of x square. This is 2 mu x into e of x plus mu of x square. It is already an expectation, so no need to put another expectation to it. So this e of x is nothing but mu x. Okay. So once you substitute this and simplify, the answer you will be getting is e of x square, this first term, minus mu x square. Why? Because this is 2 times mu x square plus mu x square. So minus plus is nothing but minus. So here you will be getting your rho square of x. Okay. So this is rho square of x. Yeah. And coming to 2.13. So 2.13 is again a bit tricky problem. So any doubts till here, friends?
No, sir.
Please unmute yourself and ask any doubts if you have.
No, sir.
Any doubts from other divisions? Shall I move it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So the next problem we have is again we'll be finding your this thing, that is mean and variance. So before I move into this problem, we will see if I want to solve this problem, we should have a gamma function. So in the class, we had done this already, if you remember. So a gamma function is given by something like this. So here, a gamma function is nothing but it is x of n minus 1 multiplied by e raised to minus ax into dx is nothing but this is equal to gamma of n divided by a raised to n. And what is gamma of n? Anybody? It is nothing but n minus 1 factorial.
N minus 1 factorial.
It is n minus 1 factorial. Okay. So if you can observe here, please concentrate on this problem. Okay. So this problem says that we have a continuous random variable x and whose PDF is given by 2 into e raised to minus 2x. 2 into e raised to minus 2x. So we already know. So we need to find its expected value and variance. Okay. So if you observe here, we have x into fx of x into dx. X we already, x is the element. Fx he has given 2 into e raised to minus 2x. Substitute both the terms. Next, remove this 2 constant. Remove this 2 constant. Then you can observe this, whatever is there inside this integration is taking the form of the gamma function. It is taking the form of the gamma function. Okay. So how this could be written then? How this could be written? We'll just try to understand. So if you observe here, so what is your gamma function? It tells us that x of n minus 1 into e raised to minus ax. So the exponential term is same, e raised to minus ax. Okay. But here we don't have a n minus 1 and we need to make it n minus 1. So therefore, what we'll write here is it is x raised to 2 minus 1. We'll write here x raised to 2 minus 1. In that case, what would happen here? It is gamma of n. It is gamma of n. What is our n? Here we have n. What is our n here? First, if anybody listening. What is our n here?
2.
2. The n here we have is 2. So therefore, what we are written here, it is gamma of 2. It is not square root. It is gamma of 2 divided by, you can see here, divided by, what is our a? A here we have is 2. A here we have is 2. Okay. So it is nothing but 2 raised to n. Raised to n. Again, n is here what now? Our 2. So therefore, it is 2 square. So gamma of 2 is nothing but it is 2 minus 1 the factorial. It is 2 minus 1 the factorial, which is nothing but 1 factorial. Therefore, we are written here 1. And this 2 square is nothing but 4. This 2 square is nothing but 4. So this 2 and this 4 would get cancelled. And thereby what we'll be getting? We'll be getting 1 by 2. Okay. So this is your mean. This is how you will be finding your mean. Why I took up this problem is to make you understand the gamma function. Okay. So second. Yeah. So why I took this is to make you understand the gamma function. That is the reason behind this. Yeah. Any doubts? Okay. So this is done. Similarly, you can go ahead and find this e of x square. Just make this square. Just make this square. Now, again, here we will be using your gamma functions. Again, here we'll be using your gamma functions. I want you guys to tell me what would be the answer here. Yeah. Anybody? Anybody? Let me show you the gamma function. Here is the gamma function, friends. So it is nothing but how I should write this. Here we have a x square.
Raised to 3 minus 1.
So this is written as x raised to 3 minus 1. Why? Because we have a x square. Into e raised to
minus 2x.
Yeah, this is correct. So that means this is equal to what now? Apart from Pooja, anybody else? Please observe here.
Gamma of 3 divided by 2 raised to 3.
This is gamma of n. What is our n here? It is 3. Gamma of 3 divided by, what is our a? Anybody? Apart from Pooja and Anjali? A division, anybody? What is our a?
2. 2, sir.
2. So the a we have will be It will be 2 raised to, what is the formula here?
3.
It is
2 to the power.
2 to the power 3. So if I want to simplify this, what I will write? Gamma of 3 is nothing but it is n minus 1 factorial, which is 3 minus 1 factorial divided by 2 cube. Divided by 2 cube. Okay. So is this clear here till here? Any doubts? Anybody from A and B and C division? Anybody? Any
No,
doubts?
sir,
till
no
here?
doubts.
Okay. So we'll move ahead. So what did we do till now? It is now 3 minus 1 factorial, which is nothing but 2 factorial. So 2 factorial divided by 2 cube is what? Anybody? 2 cube is 8. So thereby, if you simplify it, you will be getting 1 by. Okay. So finally, your rho square of x is nothing but ex square, which is 1 by 2. You have found it out. Okay. So ex square 1 by 2 you have found it out. Then ex the whole square. Ex you have found it out here, which is also 1 by 2. So you'll be getting 1 by 4. And when you subtract, you'll be getting 1 by 4. So this is how you apply your gamma function. So please, friends, note down this gamma function somewhere. It will be helpful for you guys. Okay. Next, moving ahead with our textbook problem. So this is our textbook problem, that is 2.13. We'll try to understand this 2.13 now. So you have fx of x, which is equal to lambda into e raised to minus lambda x. Fx of x is equal to lambda into e raised to minus lambda x. So is it taking the form of the gamma function, friends? Please see here.
Yes, sir, it is taking. Yeah.
It will take the form of the gamma function, correct? Why? Why? Because you can see here, this lambda will remove common. Yes. What is your mean formula? It is the variable, which is x multiplied by e raised to, multiplied by this whole term, that is lambda into e raised to minus lambda x. So if you observe here, this is taking the form of the gamma function. So therefore, again here, we will be using your gamma function to solve this. So let us try to understand that. Okay. So this is what we have. This is what we have. So please concentrate here, friends. This is x of, here we have x into e raised to minus lambda x. So since I want it n minus 1, what I have written here, similar to previous problem, it is x raised to 2 minus 1 e raised to minus lambda x. So that means what we'll be having here? This n factorial, which is 2 factorial, and a raised to n. What is a here? A here is lambda. You can observe I have written the formula here only above. So a here is lambda. So lambda raised to n. What is n? Square. This 2. Is this clear? Very simple. If you know the gamma function, it's very simple. So it is nothing but n minus 1 factorial. N minus 1 factorial, that is 2 minus 1 factorial is 1 into 1. So this lambda and this lambda would get cancelled. The answer you will be getting is 1 by lambda. Okay. So the answer you have got is 1 by lambda. Similar to that, we have the next function. We have our next function. We need to find our ex square. If I want to find ex square, this x I will be squaring it. So this x we have squared it. Okay. So when you square this x, so it is nothing but again it is taking the form of the gamma function. Again it is taking the form of the gamma function, and you can observe here. So since I have a square here, therefore I have written here what now? 3 minus 1. 3 minus 1 e raised to minus lambda x. Okay. So again, using the gamma function, this becomes gamma of 3. A is again lambda. A is again lambda raised to your n, which is 3. Okay. So this becomes what now? 3 minus 1 the factorial. That is n minus 1 factorial. Thereby it becomes 2 factorial. 2 factorial is nothing but 2 itself. Okay. So this lambda and this lambda cube would get cancelled. This lambda and lambda cube would get cancelled. The answer you will be getting is 2 by lambda square. So the answer we have got here is 2 by lambda square. So using these two, easily you can find out your rho square of x. Okay. So is this clear how your e of x came and how your e of x square came? Any doubts here? Any doubts, anybody? Nikhil, you have any doubt? Shall I move it?
No, sir.
Okay. So we'll move ahead. If you have any doubts later also, you can ask, no issues, but please concentrate now. Yeah. Moving ahead,
What is the formula?
can you please come again? Please come again with the,
X square formula.
this rho square x formula.
Yes, sir.
This rho square x formula we just now discussed in the previous problem. Yeah, it is nothing but ex square minus ex the whole square. Ex square minus ex the whole square. You already have your ex square here. Okay, you have your ex as well. So just square this ex and you have your ex square. So 2 by lambda square minus 1 by lambda square. So 2 by lambda square minus 1 by lambda square. The answer you'll be getting is 1 by lambda square. Only one step it is. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So I'll move ahead with the next thing. So yeah. So say for example, you have a random variable which is discrete 2.45. So we will be combining your 2.45 and 2.30. So let us see what is your 2.45 and 2.30.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
So now we have class, sir. At 1:30.
Okay, fine. Okay. So we'll stop here.